Wow, what a powerful episode of Apothecary Diaries. I cannot believe that this is what resulted from just the Empress Dowager just coming to Maomao for an answer about this curse. But not only did Maomao answer it, that wasn't even the focal point of the episode. Like, she solved that like, oh, gotta figure it out. It was like, what, one day? She figured it out. It was like, okay, let me go answer everything tomorrow. Even though Maomao figured it out, honestly, I don't think that's the main focus for us to talk about. Yes, she figured it out. Yes, she answered about the previous emperor. There was so much that happened that even the Dowager was talking about her past. I was like, what? It totally blew my mind. And there was even a small hint that I think leads to the overall issue that's going on and why people are targeting Jinshi. So let's get into this because this is something serious. So let's set the stage. We have the current Empress Dowager, who of course is Jinshi's mother. And then we have, of course, the previous emperor and the previous Empress Dowager that was over the emperor. Going into current Empress Dowager's past, when she was a little girl, she was so manipulative that I was like, what? Because it made it seem like, oh, she was manipulated by the emperor taking her on. Come to find out, she was the one that did it. Everyone kind of knew that the emperor was not all there. It looked like he definitely has some type of mental issues. He didn't want to be touched. Notice when he did get touched, he kept like rubbing it and such. It's like, okay. Yeah, I see, some OCD issues along with some other issues. And everyone could tell that this was the emperor who's supposed to be over everything. Yeah, he's not really meant to be emperor. So that's the reason why Maomao was saying that the emperor's mother realized that, yeah, he's not fit to be emperor. So she consolidated power so then she can kind of take care of him. And, as a mother figure, who cares what others think, as I consolidate power? Well, a lot of other people were trying to consolidate power too. Come to find out, the Empress Dowager, as a little girl, even she's like, yeah, I could go to my sister who's the concubine or apologize for, the way things happen. No, she's like, go straight up to the Empress like, are you okay? Knowing that she could be one with power. And what happens? She got that power. But then when she got older, started to get jealous. She started to get jealous about the way that he wasn't looking at her anymore. Well, he kind of knew what he liked as his style, even though definitely that is not right. And then she fractured his mind just to mess with him. It's like, okay, you're gonna remember me. Then after that, he stayed away from then on. But even Jinshi had to come back to his mother and be like, well, he did try to come and talk to us that one time, and then he was pulled away. I wonder what he wanted to talk to us about. You see, the Empress Dowager refuses to believe that picture, that beautiful picture, is about her. She mentally is blocking the fact that could be her. And Jinshi bring it up. It's like, this was the color of clothes that you normally wore back then. Like, she hates him so much that she can't even fathom, or she refuses to fathom that in his fractured state, that he actually did remember her, did love and care for her to draw something so powerful. And she's like, nah, that ain't me. That ain't me. Jinxi's like, it could be you. No, that ain't me. That ain't me. So, wow, just such a meaningful moment that's encompassing everything that happened in the past. And Maomao just knocks out the answer like it's no big deal. It's so crazy that here was the previous emperor through his mental issues, not of course being looked at, that it had a trickle effect, a wave pattern effect on everyone else's lives. Jinshi, the Empress Dowager, the current one, the previous one, the emperor's mother, and even Maomao. It was, of course, mentioned about Maomao's father, not Lakin, but the doctor, and his effect, of course, on the Empress Dowager. Like, everything just has a ripple effect. But there was something mentioned by the Empress that is like, wait a minute, hold up. This might actually be a clue on what's going on now. So the Empress Dowager comes back and is like, hey, yeah, I'm glad that, I had a son through the Emperor, so then that way he couldn't cast me aside, who of course is now the current Emperor. She makes mention that there's a woman that says, oh, this daughter is the Emperor's. And the Emperor's like, no, she isn't. What are you talking about? Pushes her aside, and then of course has someone else take the daughter as their own, and then they exile. That right there, why do they mention it if it wasn't important? To me, that might actually be why someone is coming back and targeting Jinshi, because they may feel like if their daughter is supposed to be of royalty, but then they got banished, cast aside, what if they come back years later and it's like, okay, this is what our true position is? They could be the masterminds. They could be the person who's after, like in season 1, try to target Jinshi, try to target all these little things around the palace to make things go wrong. This seems like a motive to me. So, I might be shooting in the dark here, but it's just so weird that it's like, why did you mention that about a girl that could be the Emperor's? It's just kind of like a side comment, and then it's like, well, we know it can't be like, oh, that's actually Maomao or something like that. No, we know Maomao is Lackens, and, and from, we know Maomao's mother, so it can't be like a lost child from the Emperor. So it's like, well, that's a little interesting there. Okay, all right. So I'm definitely taking note of this. Like I said, I'm not letting the little things slide. So take note of this, because this might be revisited in the future once we find out who's behind everything and why they might be the ones manipulating everything, because they are probably, trying to get back at the previous Emperor and want to get power. Overall, great episode. I love the little moments. I can't believe, this explains so much about Jinshi's personality. The fact that they would take away his favorite toys whenever he liked them. And then now, even Mama was like, oh, so that's his problem. Okay. And poor Goshen, I can't believe Goshen was watching over Jinshi ever since he was a little boy. It's like, oh, dang. Man, he's a ride or die right there. He's been there since, I knew he was Jinshi's attendant, but I didn't know he was an attendant since he was a little boy. It's like, wow, okay. So there's just so much explaining this episode that made it so good. But yes, tell me what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you think I'm on the right track? Of course, no spoilers from those that do know the answer and do know who's behind everything. Please don't say anything, but I just love the fact that we learn more about the Empress Dowager, how manipulative she was even as a little girl, and more about Jinshi, the current Emperor, and everything else that's going on here. It just makes this show so good. It's just so good. But anyway, don't forget to like the video. Of course, subscribe if you are new here, and make sure you hit that bell icon for more as we discuss more about this anime and several others here on the channel. I appreciate you guys for being here, and I hope you guys have been enjoying the analysis as we take a deeper dive into the little things that might be overlooked by others. You guys be safe, take care, and Lord willing, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now.
This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon.